Hey,
Hey, how you going,
good
brother?
mate. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Mr.
That's good.
Stew.
That's good. That's good, mate. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Good to see you again. Yeah. It's
I'm
ch-
liking I'm liking the background there, brother.
well, yeah, you kind of inspired me a little bit. Um, because we've only ever done audio and not visual. I kind of never really felt the need to have something in the background. But this episode, we're going to try and push the boundaries a little bit. So, episode 8 for us, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It
And
is.
yeah, I figured why not? So, you've got your little cave there of all your memorabilia. And look,
Mm.
I wanted to do something. It's obviously not at the level that yours is, but that's okay. That's
Yeah, but I got
okay.
a care package. I got a care package coming for you,
And
brother.
I'm counting on that. That's why I've got that little space right there
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
things
There's
to
some
go
good
up. But
stuff.
no, look, man, it's just a bit of stuff that, it's stuff that means, it's stuff that actually means something to me. Like, I've got one of my old race jerseys up there, then I've got one of Rhino's jerseys up there, which is ironically the same team, the Supercross Speedline team in Australia. So that's really cool. And
Awesome,
just a couple of other
awesome.
bits and pieces, man. The picture, I know people probably can't see it, but we can put that up in the comments anyway later on.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a pretty special bit of artwork I got up there, mate. That
Mm.
you might have sent over to me just before you went on your little trip.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, though, there is a lot to that picture that is even outside the picture. And, for all intents and purposes, my nickname in BMX is Dozer,
Yep.
but you're actually the person that gave me that nickname because of that crash that I had at Frankston
That's
in, I
right.
think,
Yeah. Yeah.
2015 at the state titles there.
Yeah.
And we
It's the abbreviated version though, isn't it? I think I gave you
yeah,
some ridiculously long, silly name or
this
something at
the
some point.
Sebastian Dozer, and then it
So,
was the Sebast Dozer,
that's
which
right.
is Sebastian was the little town that I lived in
That's right.
just out of
Yep. Yep.
just out of
That's right.
Bendigo here.
That's
That's
right.
where
Yep.
I had my
Yep.
backyard track,
That's
etc.,
it. Yeah.
etc.
So the photo, just to let people know, it was Frankston, wasn't it? That
Mm-hmm.
you had a little little
Mischief,
excursion, a little mischief. Yeah. So
little
and it wasn't
mischief.
even your fault, was it? Really? Like you can
No,
explain it, but yeah, a couple of dudes crashed in front of you, and the rest is
yeah.
history.
So the rest is history, and I'm stuck with an awesome nickname.
Yeah.
So I probably still need to start paying you royalties, bro.
Yeah. Bit of
Um,
back pay,
bit of
2015.
back
Yeah.
pay. Yeah. So it was the Victorian state titles, the state that you and I reside in. First moto in 40 something cruiser, because obviously it's a fair while ago. And there was a hold up on the gate because there was something, someone didn't have their transponder registered or something. So
Yep.
we're all sitting on the gate and then, step off. And we got into that whole, obviously, you have all that adrenaline and that build up. First moto at the state titles is pretty intense.
Yeah.
And then we all stepped off the gate and we'll just, I mean, because we all know each other and we're sort of talking amongst ourselves. And that whole intensity level just fully dropped. And it was kind of like we were just at gate night. And then about 20, we're sort of standing around for about 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden, okay, guys, on the gate, here we go. And to try and pull yourself out of that chillaxed mode to rack up against the gate was kind of really hard. And then we all sort of, riders ready, go. And then get into the first corner. And for whatever reason, I think three guys went down. I know one of them, Dean Swan. There was uh, Adrian Bognar.
Bogner. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and then there was someone else. Please forgive me, I'm forgetting it. And I pretty much was coming around the corner, and I had nowhere to go clearly, and I tried to get on the picks, and up, like it nose manual into through the pack sort of thing, and got tangled with Dean Swan, and sort of we'll push, not literally pushing, but sort of trying to get ahead of each other. And because I mean, all the points, no matter what happens, you got to try and get the
The low
lowest amount
score.
of
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was kind of epic, and there was a sequence of photos that have been taken, and I did make a little video, so maybe I can share that. It's a pretty funny sequence.
Yeah.
And yeah, you came up with that awesome nickname, and yeah, we shortened it over the years and
And that's
put
that's
Dozer
what
on the,
stuck. Yeah.
and it stuck. And I was kind of a bit, or at the start was a bit, people are just going to laugh at it, but I actually really, really like it, and could probably play on it a little bit.
Too late. Too late now.
Too late now, and
Too late
I've had
now.
it on jerseys and stuff, and
Yeah.
you know what,
Yeah.
I'm all G with that. I'm all good with
Yeah.
that, because that's what BMX is all about. We need characters. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not just saying on behalf of myself, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
need characters, and I mean,
Yeah.
you're a character within yourself. You're really good on the mic, and you do a lot of commentary, and it's always a gas hearing you on the commentary,
Yeah.
and
It's all
it's
just a
all
bit of
part of
fun,
the
mate.
package. It's
Yep.
all part of the
The
package.
package. I think
The
you copped that. I think
package.
you copped that one too, didn't you, at
Yeah,
BSX?
yeah, yeah.
We
At
won't.
BSX.
We'll leave that one alone. We won't go down
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll start rambling.
So yeah, good to catch up again, man. Obviously, yeah, you've been on a bit of an adventure. I think Dozer on tour,
Those runs.
Dozer in the wire.
I was
Um,
supervised though. I had
you
Jenko
were. I heard that you kept you on a pretty short leash at times.
at
Not at all
times.
times, but not all times. Yeah. So
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it was really cool, man. And we also did. We actually did something pretty cool, you and I, just on the
Mm.
weekend. So yeah, that was really cool, wasn't it? We got asked to go on to another podcast. Justin and Chris and Melissa, the guys from All Things BMX, based in the States. They reached out to us. We're still
Yeah.
scratching our heads why, we're still scratching our heads as to as to why they asked us, but I think we know why. They reached out and said, "Hey, we love what you guys are doing. It's super
Yeah.
positive, and you guys seem to really get it. So we want to grab you on the show." So yeah, that was really cool. Hey, we got to do that
Mm.
on Sunday.
Massive privilege, and I think they were promoting us, and getting people on board to support us really early on, and just so positive. And it
Yeah,
just shows you that this is a true BMX family. And I always like to extend thank you to everybody that has supported us and continued from the
yeah,
start,
yeah,
and even the people that had just found us.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
again, also.
yeah.
But yeah, to Justin and Chris and Melissa, it was. I was, yeah, like you. I was like, really? They want us on, and they even made special time. They allocated
They did.
special
Yeah,
time for us.
They actually changed the date of their normal show because
Mm,
obviously they're based in the US in Michigan.
hmm
So we sort of had to try and do it at a time that sort of suited us both.
hmm
I think at one point I think they thought that they had it set up so it was like starting at 8 p.m. our time. Turns out it
hmm
was 8 a.m.
hmm
our time. But
Yeah.
the beauty with that was though, because we waffled on for nearly 3 hours, it
hmm
was probably not a bad thing because we would have been up till midnight
Yeah.
chatting to those guys. So yeah, look, just a special shout out to those guys. Thanks
hmm
again. It was an experience that an experience that I'll never forget.
Very
I'm
grateful.
sure you're the same. Absolutely, Sean. Absolutely. Like I said, never in a million years did we ever think that anyone would ever want us to come on their show.
And such an
And
established show,
yeah,
and
that's so
such
they've been
a,
around for like 5 years. So that was really
yeah.
cool. So yeah, shout out to those guys. Um, but you've been on a little adventure.
Yes, we'll call it that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 3 weeks you were gone? Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was probably people that were happy about that. I was, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was I guess a bit like the podcast with Justin and Chris and Melissa. This was a chance that I had to take.
Yeah.
There was some opportunities that were offered early on in the year, and especially from Gus, for the team manager from Profile Racing there in the United States, and he's like, "Yeah, you guys got to come over, come and do the road trip in the Profile truck," and he was dangling carrots hard,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Shane, man, we got to make this happen," and
Yeah.
um, yeah, and for me, it was a really good time after, without going too much into it, the stuff that I was dealing with over the last 4 years, the legal and medical stuff over 4 years, it
Yep.
was kind of a little bit of a decompression thing. It
Yeah.
was a little bit of a reward,
Yep.
and it was kind of just time to push the factory reset and
Yeah.
kind of get back to who
Who
I
you
am.
really
And
are. Yeah.
yeah,
That's the thing, man. I think I've spoken to you about it before. When you told me that you were going back there, I think I'm yeah, the first thing I thought was I hope you do, man, because I know you went back in 2022. Is that right? 22, 23. You went in
yeah,
22.
22, yeah,
22, yep. And I know you didn't have the best time when you went. I
yeah,
know you still had a good
yeah,
time, but you didn't have
yeah.
you didn't have the time that you wanted to have. Is that fair to say? And
That's
yeah,
fair. Yeah.
yeah. And when you said you were going again or you were thinking about it, I think I said to you, if you can do it, man, do it. Like if you
Yeah,
can
you
do it,
did.
you can do it. And people, I'm in the same boat. People stress about, oh, can I afford it? This and that. Money comes and goes, man. And
Mm.
you, it's you can't. Well, money can buy experiences, but you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't just go every now and then just go, you know what, stuff it. I'm gonna go and do this because A, I want to do it and I need to do it. And for you, man, without getting too deep on you, we're only what 7 minutes in or something. I honestly felt like this is the trip that you needed to do, man. You needed to do, like you
Yeah.
said, we won't get into it too much, but you've been through the ringer the last, 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and yeah, you deserved to go.
Thank you, brother.
And we both know who you did that trip with, and I just can't wait to hear about it. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, I'm stoked that you went, man, and I'm stoked that you got to go again, and
mm.
have the trip that you not only wanted but that you deserved. So yeah, I'm
Thanks,
stoked for
brother.
you.
That means a lot. Yeah, and it was, and people like you with that encouragement, it's like, and I'm like, yeah, I need to make this happen, and it was everything and more. Like there was experiences that I didn't have an opportunity last time, but also in saying that though, from the first trip, there was connections I made that time, and I was able to catch up with those people
Yeah,
and expand and make some really lasting friendships, which is
yeah,
what I love
yeah,
to do. I love
yeah,
I love being around people, and I love
yeah,
being around good people.
yeah,
And me, I love making people laugh and
yep, yep,
spreading that positivity sort of stuff. And
yeah,
America is no different for me. I felt really comfortable. To be fair, I actually felt really comfortable there this time. Like,
yep,
yeah, like a calming belonging.
yep,
It just
yep,
sort of,
yep.
I don't know.
You weren't overwhelmed, and yeah,
That's it. Yeah,
but you were with good company too, man. And that's the thing. I think I've said this before. I've got a song that I listen to all the time, and it just reminds you that time is important, but who you spend that time with is just as important. And
100%.
yeah, I know that you got to do this trip with the people that you wanted to do it with, and spend time with
Hmm.
the people that you wanted to spend with, and
Yeah,
that just makes all the difference, man. That makes all the difference.
it
Yeah,
truly
it
does.
does, it does. So yeah, like I said, man, I don't want to go on about it for too long, but yeah, you deserved it, and yeah. So the trip itself, you were gone for it felt like forever, but you were gone for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, 21 days pretty much on the button.
Yep,
So from landing to saying goodbye. So, and if you know, obviously I went with Shane,
yep,
Jenko.
yep.
And if you know Shane, he's a very well organized human being,
Very.
and but in a methodical way, but such, we did it. He had a spreadsheet, and
Yeah,
we'd go backwards and forwards, and he was saying, oh, what you want to do and what's things that you want to see, say like when we went to California. So we sort of sat down and we worked out an itinerary, and looked at the map and times, and it was just so well and planned, but also really easy to follow. And there was also, well, if this doesn't work out,
yeah.
we can go and do this instead.
There's a plan. There's a plan B. Yeah, there's a
There
plan
was a
B.
plan B,
Yeah.
which we really kind of had to tuck into
Yeah,
because
because I could imagine. I've look full transparency, man. I've never been overseas. I don't even have a passport. I need to get onto that if I'm going to go there
you
next year.
do, you do.
But that's always my biggest fear would be to go to a place like that on the other side of the world and be like, if you had a day where it was like raining or I don't know, or even more than that, I was always thinking, like, I always used to think, okay, what do I do once I get there? I don't know where to go. I don't know where things are. So
Yeah.
obviously having someone like Shane, that's yeah, he's a very, very, very organized person, likes to make very good use of his time. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm sure that was really cool.
Yeah, and also, I mean, he's lived there. With his job that he had, with a computer software company, and he was over in Boston, and he would spend time over there, work I think 3, 4 weeks, maybe in a bit longer, and then he'd fly home. And he was just happy, he'd ride around the streets, do his sprints. He would even race when he was over there, so he
Yeah,
was quite comfortable, like driving on the wrong side of the road and just navigating around. And to be fair, I'm obviously just sitting in the passenger seat, but it was very easy to get around, and I even found the driving over there really relaxing. I didn't feel, it wasn't any crazy road rage, or
yeah,
it just
yeah,
all seemed really,
yeah,
everybody, yeah, like people were speeding,
yeah,
which was a bit of a shock at the start, and I even noticed that in the last trip. But it all seems to work, like,
yeah.
and I don't
So
know
so
why it's like
like on the motorways and stuff, you can sort of cruise. Like if everyone's sort of traveling at the same speed, whether they're speeding or not speeding,
yeah,
it's what's 100 if you're doing 100, what's 120 if you can do 100. If everyone's doing 120,
100, yeah, and
then
and yeah,
yeah,
pretty much that premise,
yeah,
where it just kind of worked, and everybody was indicating. I didn't see too much of the no indicating or just deciding to change 20 lanes all in one go. It just
yeah,
seemed to. I mean, obviously there was still, some crazy stuff going on,
yeah,
but it just seemed like an organized chaos with everybody kind of, and obviously down in Florida and also in Tulsa, it seemed even more relaxed.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Like especially in Tampa when we'll cruise around in Gus's, his big truck, his pickup truck. Like we'll just cruise around, like, and it was like we owned the pickup truck, and
yeah,
just go do this and head down to Profile, or go pick up some helmets for Gus, and it
yeah,
was like we were kind of living there,
yeah,
like it was
yeah,
really
yeah. So
really
it was
chilled.
relaxed, yeah. So, but you didn't start in Florida though, did you? You flew to California. So what was the first sort of things you did when you got there?
So obviously, put our bum on a plane, and it was a shorter flight than usual. I think it was only like 12 hours. So obviously, we had a bit of a tailwind or something.
Yeah.
But when we landed in at LAX, it was that when they had the government shutdown,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and it was deserted. Like it was kind of a bit weird. You get down, you go through and you see that famous thing with the flag. You go down into customs. There was no one. Like it was. There was only like a handful of people around.
yeah,
And then obviously we go through customs. Like four. There was like four custom officers, and that was it. It's normally heaving.
yeah,
And it was, yeah, it was thing. And then when we went to the baggage, collect our bags, it was like we're on the set of 2001 Space Odyssey. It was because it's very
like almost
barren.
like COVID times where there's just no one around.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
nearly apocalyptic. And I said to
yeah,
Shane, it's very apocalyptic. He goes, shh, we'll get into trouble. And
yeah,
so we picked up the hire car. We had a look like a little soccer mum. Oh, it wasn't a soccer mum car, but it was like a little sports wagon, little
yeah. Little
GMC
SUV.
thing,
Yeah, yeah,
a little SUV.
yeah,
Jumped into it. It was funny because it had all the bells and whistles, and some, because it was a GM, it had very similar controls to my Commodore wagon, like this, the
yeah,
climate control and all that was very similar, and the screen in the middle. But to select the gears, it was so janky. It was like in the middle of the, like underneath where the radio is, you had to push the buttons like the old Valiant in a way,
Oh,
like
yeah, righto.
switches.
Yeah,
It
right.
was so janky.
Yeah,
Me and
yeah.
me and Shane are sitting there in the parking garage going, how do we put it in gear?
Drive. Yeah,
Like he was looking with no low levers, no nothing. And it was, there was a P, an N, a D, and 2, 3, 1 or whatever. And we're like, how do we push these? And we just sort of, he found it by accident and like pushed it down,
yeah.
and the car went into drive.
Oh,
And we're like, it's like it was that part of the car was designed on a Friday. Like I would
Yeah.
just
Friday at 3 o'clock. Yeah.
Friday at 3 o'clock, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the
But
first
it got
beer
it
is on
got you
me.
got you to where you needed to go though, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, and then yeah, we went and sort of got going, and the first stop was In and Out Burger.
Of course.
You know, of course, and that was kind of I think we sort of landed at about 9:30, so we were pretty hungry by the time we got out of the
Yeah.
airport and got the car and went there, and then went to Pro Circuit.
Yeah, cool.
That was phenomenal. Like, and because it was only early-ish in the morning, there was no one else really in there. So I went through there, and I told you I was, and you're like, you're right into motocross like I am, and had all Ricky Carmichael's bikes, Jerry McGrath, um, Mike LaRocco's bikes, Mike Brown,
All the bikes. Yeah.
all the bikes. The only thing is, I did ask the guy, and there was a young guy working behind the counter, and sometimes the Australian accent can open doors. No
Oh,
pun
yeah,
intended.
yeah,
And you sort of start talking to them, and I don't know. There's, hey man, so what? And they ask you what you're over here for, and
yeah,
BMX and all that sort of stuff, and they become really interested.
yeah.
And we're just, I was, saying about how much I love moto and all that, and they had Ken Roxon's Yamaha in there, which was, in
Oh, the
the
straight
Bob
rhythm
Hanna,
bike. Oh, the
yeah,
straight rhythm
this,
bike. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's right. It was all yellow in the Bob Hanna
Bob Hanna,
livery. Yeah, yeah, livery. Yeah,
so good. I did
yeah,
get a couple of photos with
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Had awesome merch, and he was really cool. He gave us a heap of stickers
yeah.
and
Awesome.
sticker sheets,
Yeah,
and he was really nice. And at the back, you could sort of see the machine shop where they were, working on bikes out the back.
yeah.
And he was really cool. He's like, take your time, guys, take as many photos as you want. And so we probably spent maybe 2 hours there, and
Wow.
then obviously jump in the car because just around the corner, or just a little bit down the road, is Troy Lee Designs. And I did put a video up on my YouTube, but
So I've seen the video. Check it out.
yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But I want you to tell the story because every time I hear it, I still laugh. But yeah,
So obviously, back in 2022, we did obviously this trip that Shane and I did now was basically in reverse. So we did LA, Florida, then Grands, but then the trip in 2022 was in reverse. So we did Florida, Tulsa, and then LA. So by the time we got to LA, it was pretty much, I think we only had a couple of days to go before we flew out. And,
yeah,
I was really, really keen to get over to Troy Lee Designs. You see everybody,
yeah,
that's a BMX or a Modi.
yeah,
They go, yeah, they go there. I remember Hayden Fletcher went there and he actually got served by Troy Lee and added
yeah.
it on the docket. You've been served by Troy Lee.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad.
That's cool.
So, I went there last time and it was closed. So, they said because of COVID and they had to do some renovations and they thought it was a good time to, give it a spruce up. And the guy sort of said, hey, look, come back in a couple of days and we'll be open. And I'm like, yeah, nah, Bruzzy, I'm going to be on a plane. I thought maybe he might have, but he couldn't because there was like scissor lift still in there.
Yeah.
So it was still a
OH&S.
work site.
Yeah.
OH&S, and as an OH&S rep myself, I
Yeah.
totally dig it.
Yeah.
So I was, so close, but no cigar. Anyway, so this time I said to Shane, bro, we have to put this on the itinerary. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like, this is my thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, it was the third thing we did on our first day. So, we're rolling along. And like I said, In and Out, we went to In and Out in Corona,
Mm.
Pro Circuits in Corona, and then obviously Troy Lee's. So we, like I said, he's very
Yeah.
concise and planned it
Yeah.
out quite well. And I'm like, so we drive up and car park's full. I'm like, okay, that's a good sign. Find a park. And now this is a little tidbit that you added in when I first originally told you this part of the story, that there was a beautiful white Audi R8
Yeah.
that was parked next to us, right? And I'm a bit like you. I like an R8.
Yeah.
They're a pretty awesome car. And we saw a guy and a girl get out, and they walked off towards the front door, and I'm like, this is looking good. And then obviously I had my little montage, walking there, please be open, please be open, please be open. And then like literally, we're taking photos outside and there was a guy near the front door and I'm starting to feel pretty spicy.
Pretty
I'm like,
confident. You were
okay,
pretty confident.
I was, yeah. And I've got this, yeah, look at me at Troy Lee. Turn around to where the door is, bum bum. Two letters that say wrong, dun dun. They start with D. Like, so, and I'm like, this can't be right. This can't be true. I'm like, I turned to Shane, legit. I go, did you organize this? Like, did you somehow ring them, say we're going to be there at 10 o'clock, and just get them to flip the thing just to freak me out mentally?
So
He goes, no, no, no.
the sign on the door
Yeah, it
was
said
no
closed,
go,
but I
no
saw
go.
those people. I saw the people walk in. I'm like, maybe they didn't turn it around. Sometimes people don't flip the sign.
Yeah.
And there was a guy at the front on the phone. He goes, "No, mate, it's not open. It's not open to the public anymore." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, no, it's their corporate headquarters now. It's not open to the public." And I'm like, "This is all wrong. I didn't subscribe to this.
I,
This is not the
I
script.
didn't I
This is
didn't
not the
spend
script."
I didn't spend 14 hours on a plane, mate, to come here for you to tell me that this door's shut.
To me,
Yeah,
to Dozer,
yeah,
to
to
Dozer. Do you know
Dozer
who I am?
from
Do you know who
Australia,
I am?
from
Yeah, from
Bendigo, from
Australia,
Bendigo, from
from
Bendigo.
Bendigo. And so I was like, anyway, this lady came to the door. I think she might have been letting someone out. Anyway, so I did the whole sob story. So
Yeah,
I give her the spiel about what happened. And she said, yes, it's not open to the public. But she goes, okay, I'll just let you in. Because I'm like, please, can I just take a couple of photos of like the helmets and because I can literally see everything there. It
yeah.
was like, it's right there. I can nearly touch it. And she goes, okay, I'll let you come in. But she goes, don't look right and don't take any photos on the right side because there's a private function over there. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't want to get into trouble. So I know Shane was behind me. So I, just started taking some photos of, the helmets and there was, what do we say, Marvin Moose Can's
Yeah,
old
yeah, KDM,
KDM in there.
Red Bull KDM, yeah.
And, number 28, which is ironically my race number. And, a few bibs and bobs. And she was like, hey, do you want to take a picture in front of anything? I can take a photo for you. So I'm like, hey, there was some awesome, some pinstriping and stuff that Troy had done. And all right, I'll be honest, my peripheral vision was looking right.
Right.
There was a lot of people walking around with canapes and hors d'oeuvres and stuff, looking
Yeah.
all. And there
So
might have been
basically the wet paint sign was up, do not touch. You touched. Yeah.
do not touch the electric fence.
Right.
Caution, it's hot. Yeah. So I kind of looked. Might have seen a Ducati there, Ducati motocross bike, and as we know,
Ah,
Troy
yeah.
Lee,
Yeah.
Troy Lee, running the Ducati,
That's right. They're the title sponsor of the new Ducati race team in the US. Yeah.
and I might have seen some mannequins. I don't know. Did I see some mannequins? I don't know.
Yeah.
With Troy Lee gear
Some gear
and a
sets. Yeah.
gear sets and a number on the back of one of the
Yeah.
jerseys.
Was it
Might
51?
have. It was 51.
Yeah. Because who
And
else have
then
they got? Because they've got Ferrandis too, I think.
yeah,
I think they
Ferrandis.
got
Yeah,
he's what? He's 14. So yeah.
I didn't see that. I mean,
Yeah.
look, I was too scared to look at 51, let alone
Yeah.
look for a 14. Oh, Stewie said Dylan Ferrandis is on the team. I better I need that intel to get out of here before I go.
What's the scoop, lady? Give us the scoop. Who's on the team?
Yeah, I'll throw a smoke grenade and stun grenades. So everybody's laying on the ground. Oh yeah, okay, it's number 14. I'm out. But now you alluded to me that the person that pulled up in the R8 could have been Mr. Justin Barsha
Yeah, well,
himself.
Barsh has got a wide R8.
So me in my it's
Yeah.
Troy Lee design wasn't even focused properly.
No.
So I possibly could have missed a photo opportunity, or
You
he
missed
missed.
the selfie king has missed the photo opportunity.
Yeah, so that has played on my mind a little bit,
It's
but
always
hey,
been haunting you since I told you.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
got in. I got through the door, so
Hey, at
that's
the end of the day, you
yeah,
didn't go there to see Barsha, mate. You went there to see Troy Lee and the helmets and all the
yeah,
other cool stuff, man. If you're not a fan of Troy Lee, you're missing out. It's,
yeah.
I mean,
But that was a
the name says it all. So, yeah, that's cool, man. Look, at the end of the day, you ticked the box. You got to do it. Took you 3 years, but you got it done.
and with a little bit of cracked pepper, a little
Yeah.
little bit of
Little
spice
sob
to get in
story,
there.
little fake tear, crocodile tears running down your eyes. They were probably actually real tears. They probably were real tears.
Yeah,
They didn't need to
but
be fake tears. Yep. Got it done.
no, but got it done.
Yeah.
So that was
Cool,
it,
cool.
and
So then what'd you do after that, man? You went to did you go up to Apple Valley?
went up to
Up to
see
see the
Uncle
boss?
Bill,
Yep.
up to
Yep.
see the boss.
Yep.
So that was about a 2 hour drive out of LA up El Canyon Pass, and it's
Yep.
pretty cool. Even I mean, you're going a fair way out, and then there's this mountain roads, and it's where you see the trains also, and it's where they basically go back on themselves. And I'm not saying I'm a train spotter or Gumsall or whatever, but I do like a good goods train. I don't
Yep.
know, it's
Yep.
something.
Yeah. There's something I don't know that we don't I mean we have them in Australia, but you don't see them that
Not
often. Yeah,
not
not at
like
that
that.
level. Not at that level. No.
Not that long,
No.
and just
No.
going up these tunnels, and
Yeah.
just watching them do that, you're like, wow, that's crazy. But there's massive freight hubs up in Victorville, which is um just before Apple Valley. So we shot
Yep.
up there, and
Yep.
um, you know, Bill was expecting us, and he's changed his office and all that around. So we're like, oh, how do we get into this place now?
Yeah.
And
Because
as always,
you did get to go there last time, didn't you? You did go last
yeah,
time,
I
yeah.
did, I
Yeah.
did, and that again was, that was a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
I guess I met Bill at Grands before we went to actual Supercross HQ,
Yeah.
and I was like fully, look, I'll admit it, I was full fanboy,
Yeah.
and
Just a
and
fan of the brand. Like,
yeah,
a fan of the brand. Like, we don't talk about it too much because we like all bikes on all things being, on It's Just BMX. But
but that's what we said
we,
on All Things
yeah,
BMX.
that's
We
right. Yeah,
did say
exactly right.
that.
Yeah, we did. We said it on that one and we said it on ours too. Like, we like all BMX, but yeah, you and I both got a pretty strong affiliation with Supercross. And
Yeah,
yeah, just cool, man, what he's been able to do, that guy, in what, 30 something years, like even
nearly
more,
40
nearly
years.
40.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
thing that people don't realize, there's only a few brands in America that have stayed true to the same ownership in BMX.
yeah,
So you've got
yeah,
Supercross,
yeah,
S&M with
yeah,
Mola at S&M,
yeah, yeah.
Profile
With Jim Alley and the Alley
with Jim
family.
Allen,
Yeah.
yeah. Is that it? Like, as in they're
Standard
standard, but
with
they haven't been around. They've been around since the 90s. They probably haven't been around since the 80s, have they?
no, you're probably right, probably early
Yeah.
because I know Rick
But
was writing for Haro, and then obviously he went off and
did
made
his
his own
own thing.
company.
Yeah. But just as in the brands stayed true and the owners have stayed true. So, the likes of the Mongooses and the Redlines and the GTs and that of the world, the Haros have been, they've all been bought and sold 50 times and gone through, different companies
Corporate
and
takers.
corporate
Yeah.
takeovers. But Supercross is one of those brands that Bill's had it from day one, and that's never changed, and
Mm,
that's huge, man. He's ridden the wave of the peaks of the 70s and 80s to the to the dulls of the sort of early 90s, and it sort of peaked again in the sort of mid 90s, and
yeah, yeah.
he's just ridden that wave, and that's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, and he's always like, so we went there and we put our bikes. He was, because it was still part of the working day,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're sitting in his office, and we had Tim Tams for him, and some Allen's lollies, like
Not a bit
snakes,
of a care
and
package. Yep.
bit of a care package, and some Freddo frogs and stuff, some Vegemite. I
Does he
got it.
like
I got a.
Vegemite?
He
He
does, and
does, yeah.
every time I talk. So the thing is, for me, I find it very important. So when we take it over there, I go, okay, so this is what you do: make some toast, put some butter or spread or whatever you want, and put the most smidgy part of Vegemite on,
Yeah.
and then just I said, if you have a really small amount, but you
Yeah.
have a lot of butter and the toast,
Yeah.
you'll get the true indication of what it really tastes like. I said,
Yeah.
because it really annoys me. You see this on TV in America and they get it and they just pile it on like it's, asphalt on the road. And
Yeah.
then the person that's eating it, and everybody thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
But really, at the end of the day, yes, it is an acquired taste. But I mean, I love Vegemite still
Yeah.
after all
I
these
do too.
years.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
And Bill's like, yeah, he is. I mean, I think last time Shane sort of told him that, and Shane sent him a few care packages over the thing. He likes our Bundaberg ginger beer too.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a little
nice.
bit of it.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
Is that
So
sort of can you buy it over there? Like, do you see it on shelves in the US or not?
no,
No.
I mean, I
No.
did see some. I did see one sort of ginger beer,
Yeah.
and it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't the
Yeah.
Bundaberg ginger
But
beer
the,
that
the
we
likes
love.
of Vegemite and stuff like that, is that something that you see on the shelf in the
You
US?
can, you can. I saw it at LAX airport,
Right.
at like exorbitant
Oh
price.
yeah, yeah. 50
Yeah,
bucks a jar or
so
something.
$50 a jar, and you know what? Tim Tams are like they're a currency all amongst themselves. Like
Yeah.
that's contraband 101,
Right.
and the Americans love them. They fully froth on Tim Tams. So
Yeah.
we had some for Bill, and then obviously when we went down and saw Gus, we had another lot, and we made sure that we took some different flavors. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the white
Yeah.
chocolate with the strawberry, the
Yeah.
double dip dark, the caramels, and even some like I said, I was thinking some calendars with because they love our animals, so
Yeah.
sort of that and some
Yeah.
keychains. And
Yeah.
but the thing is too is it's just part of the friendship. It's not like
Yeah. 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 It's something to
and
remember by. Like you said, you give Bill a calendar, and
mm,
he can throw it up. Although, how would that work? Would their dates be right? How am I overthinking that?
I think you're overthinking it, brother. I think a calendar's a calendar, bro. I think I didn't have to go. Oh, will this be a? Is this certified for the US or for
Yeah,
Europe?
yeah, true. Here's me thinking. Here's me thinking. But Wednesday's the
You got too
Thursday
many
here.
brains. You got too much
Ah,
brain, bro,
overthinking
bro.
it. Overthinking it. Yeah, big day at work. Big day at work.
Yeah, that wasn't like a
Yeah.
phone a friend or anything sort of deal
Nah,
there. No,
nah,
no, no.
nah. Anyway, we'll
So
move on. We'll let that out. We'll let
yeah,
that out.
we'll
Yeah.
edit that out. But I think for me, and I think I said this also on All Things BMX, is I don't feel like a consumer. I feel like a friend.
Yeah.
And Bill even said that to me when I was up there. He goes, "Your family, man. Like
Yeah.
it's."
Yeah.
We had a really good, a lot of personal things were said, and we had
Yeah.
some, it just he was telling us crazy, awesome stories, and a lot
Yeah.
of stuff even about his own life.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
between me,
Yeah, it's
Shane,
you
and
guys. Yeah. And I know that
and
you didn't get that last time. So it just it
no,
circles it circles back to that. This was the trip that you were meant to have. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I've got a lot of love and respect for Bill, and I know it's reciprocal,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. Like these relationships seem to they were able to grow even in that 3 years between that between
Yeah.
or 3 years.
Yeah.
Things. And he's always been so kind to me, but it was when I was up there, and then so we hung out and all that, and then two of the warehouse guys come in, because they were finishing their orders and knocking off, and they go, "Are you guys going back down the hill this evening?" And we're like, "No, no, no, we've got a hotel. We've got a hotel booked. We're going to stay." And we were actually planning on Apple Valley had gates that night,
Yeah.
so we'd
Yeah.
build up our bikes, and we were like, "Yeah, man, we're going." Because we didn't get to ride the track last time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah," and it's a really cool little chilled out track, and
Yeah.
actually Bill helps fund that track and run that
Yeah.
track.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you sometimes you notice in their ads and stuff, they use that track a lot for their social
Yeah.
media and
Yeah.
advertising and stuff, which is really cool.
It is cool. Yeah.
And then so these guys go, they go look at this, and they showed us the weather radar, and they go, "There's this massive rainstorm front coming." And then, we us Aussies, man, we see that stuff all the time, so you're not
Yeah.
really too. And they
All the
go,
time.
"There's all the
Yeah.
time. They go, there's pretty much a year's worth of rain coming
Yeah.
because they go here in California, we've had no rain all year,
Yeah.
but this massive front's coming, and it's like it's pretty serious. We're like, oh yeah, maybe we could squeeze out some gates, and then I reckon probably within an hour or a little bit long, it got dark. It got, the wind was blowing, and this rain front just came in, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy rain. So yeah, it was down to the Texas Roadhouse Steakhouse for dinner,
Yeah.
which was pretty good. I'm not really a big Coke drinker. Like I don't really
Yeah.
drink Coke here in Australia, but I went, you
Yeah.
know what? I need to try Coke in America.
Yeah. In a
So
glass.
waitress
Yeah.
in a
Yeah. Yeah.
glass,
Yeah.
ice.
Yeah. Spot on.
It was like the best Coke I've ever drunk.
Yeah.
Like it was. Yeah, it was just like this is pretty damn good. So had a good steak and thing, and we just went back to the motel, and then we got to spend another day with Bill, and actually no, we went down the hill. Sorry, bit fried. No, we went down the hill because the weather wasn't too bad,
Yeah.
and caught up with the guys at ODI.
Yeah. Sweet.
Went
Yep.
went through there, and a little. We spoke about it the other day. So ODI working with Barry Nobles. They're revisiting the Echo quick release clip,
The helmet clip.
which
Yep.
the
Yep.
helmet clips. So they've come up with, so Barry's reacquired all the tooling and stuff like that, and ODI have come to the table with a better polymer and plastic so it lasts, because apparently some of the colors are brittle and then obviously they break.
Yeah. Not
So
UV rated. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Barry's, that's one of his new projects, and he's working with Colby and the guys at ODI, and we did another factory tour, and they were showing
Yep.
us
Yeah.
some of the new
Beautiful.
projects, and
Yep.
then obviously Shane sat down and had a chin wag with Johnny Jump about the new grips, the Vanquish, which are amazing. I've got a set, but I don't know
Yeah.
if
I
I'm
seen they
using
did
it.
a press release for that maybe
Yeah,
yesterday or
so
the day before. Yeah. That looked really
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
and then we went out with Johnny for dinner. He's a
Yep.
super nice guy. He used to work at Troy Lee,
Yep.
as a brand rep and a rider rep, and that's how
Yep.
him and Shane, because Shane used to get flow from Troy Lee,
Yep.
and so they've had a friendship for a fairly long time, and
Yep.
that's where the profile team, that's where we get our connection with ODI through
Yeah.
Johnny,
Cool. Yeah. Really cool.
and he's a super funny guy, super nice.
Yep.
Can definitely ride a dirt bike, and he looks after all the factory guys in the
Yep.
states, as in the
Yep.
motocross guys.
Awesome. Yep.
He makes sure all the teams have got all their grips.
Yep. Yep.
So we went out for Mexican with him, and then obviously we hiked ourselves back up the hill
Yep.
and had another day, another thing with Bill,
Yep.
and then Shane did some stuff with Bill, did a walkthrough, and you can
Yep.
see me in there being a little bit of a
Yeah. Yeah. I
stooge
can
at the
see that
background. Yeah,
there.
welcome to Supercross,
Pretending
and
to
that
answer
was
the phones. Yeah. That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah. That's cool though,
yeah,
man. That's just another experience, man, that you're going to remember. So that was, yeah,
100%.
that was cool. So then that was it. And then off to Florida.
Yeah, we did the whole touristy thing. Went to
Yeah.
Santa Monica Pier, and we drove up to Malibu, and went and checked the pier and had a lunch, and we did go through that whole Pacific Palisades where the
Oh, yeah.
fires were,
Yeah.
and that was pretty eye opening and confronting it in some capacity, but also the people up that way really want people to come up and spend money and
Yeah. Yeah.
and inject back into that community sort of
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
it was like we know here with bushfires and
Yeah.
stuff here in
Yeah. We've
this
lived through
country.
a couple of them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and then, like you say, we packed it, pulled the bikes down, because our plan was to do Apple Valley, go catch up with Rob DeVilda at Bellflower, do a
Yeah.
clinic. I was really looking forward to this, doing a clinic with Rob,
Yeah.
because as you know, I've got a pretty good friendship with Rob,
Yeah.
and maybe they had a race meeting and race a clubby or a
Yeah.
club event, and then we're also going to go over to Lake Paris,
Yeah.
Redmond's track,
Yep. Yep.
and chuck some laps there at a gate night. But because of
Yeah.
the rain,
This didn't happen. Yeah.
just didn't happen, and they were
Yeah.
getting between 50 to 60 millimeters of rain a day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That's
like months.
insane.
That's like months worth of rain for them. Yeah,
And that's what was happening, and
yeah.
they can't. And that city itself
Can't handle that.
can't
You can't.
it
No,
can't handle.
can't handle it. No.
But we did some little touristy things, and I'll put up some pictures of that
Yeah, cool. Yep,
on
yep,
our YouTube, our
yep.
new YouTube
Yeah, well, that's
page.
right. Time to announce that probably. Yeah, we've got a new YouTube channel, so we're really trying to put ourselves out there and in the different spaces. And yeah, Sean loves a reel. Sean loves making content, making little edits and stuff. So
Yeah, I do.
we'd really
Yeah,
appreciate that if you guys got over and checked that out. It's just BMX over on YouTube.
just
And
BMX.
yeah,
Mm,
like it, share it, subscribe it,
get the yeah,
comment
and
on it.
we'll put a
Yeah.
link
Yeah, we'll
in the
put a link
video
down the
here.
bottom. So yeah, so
Um,
it's just the next phase for us, isn't it? Like that's the next thing that we want to try and do. And yeah, there's
yeah,
so much cool content out there that we want to try and share and yeah, spread the love some
and
more.
I think too is we're learning on the go,
We
and
are.
I'm finding that really exciting
Yeah.
because
Yep.
for me, it gives me some it gives me purpose, and I'm learning skills.
Yep.
And I think for me, it's kind of it's yeah, it's really it makes me happy, and I'm getting a lot of joy out of doing this with you, especially you, Stu, because
Yep.
like I say, we're like brothers,
Yep.
we're friends, but it sort of goes beyond
Yep.
that. But
No,
and
appreciate
even the
that.
guys on all things BMX, they sort of said, hey, try and expand. Sometimes you have to push yourself out of
Yeah,
your
of
comfort
course.
zone.
Yep. Yep.
And they were like, yeah, try different things, try different platforms. So
Yep. Yep. That's what we're
I'm,
doing. So yeah.
yeah,
Yep. If you haven't already, we've got an Instagram page as well. Just a shameless plug segment here in the middle of our in the middle of our catch up. But yeah, we'd appreciate
it's
it,
all
guys.
good.
So yeah, we'd appreciate that. So yeah, so
100%.
Florida, the next leg.
Florida, yeah,
Yeah,
that that's next level. That's
yeah,
get down there. Gus picks us up. Like I said, and he was a little that the previous to this trip, he's like, come guys, come down. We'd really love to have you. We got this planned. You can come and do this, and it was very, very enticing. And Gus is an awesome guy. He's the team manager, the race team manager at Profile USA, and he drives around to all the nationals. He looks after the team, and he has other riders that are not necessarily on the factory team, but he supports a lot of different races
yeah,
all around the country and around
yeah,
the world. And
yeah,
he also has a lot to do with our team here in Australia. I don't know if everybody knows that, but a lot of our direction does come from the US.
yeah,
And Shane and Gus have a really, really good relationship. So they're always going backwards and forwards with
yeah, yeah,
different ideas. And if we,
yeah,
if we want to change our jersey, we've got to run it by the US team and
yeah,
stuff like that, which is cool. Like
yeah. It's cool. Yeah,
he's awesome. And
yeah,
if we have any requests for parts and stuff like that, Gus makes that sort of stuff available to us
yeah,
here in Australia, and
yeah,
he's super supportive.
yeah,
Loves what we do as a team here,
yeah,
and especially like our socials and stuff, which
yeah,
gives me something to do, especially when I was banged up.
yeah,
So yeah, me and Gus have got a bit of it. We sort of. I remember Maddie saying to me, because Maddie, when he was riding on Hyper, as he mentioned in the podcast we did with him, Hyper used to run profile parts, and then the profile team used to run Hyper frames. So he got to know Gus fairly well, also with his, because he was going over to
yeah.
comps
That's
every
right.
year.
Yeah, yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, Gus will either like you or he won't." And I'm like,
One of them dudes. Yeah,
one of them dudes.
yeah,
But
yeah.
for me, it couldn't
I'm a
be.
bit the same.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Yeah,
me and Gus hit it off.
yeah. Of course.
And I
Yeah.
remember, he gave me an award the last time I was there for the most enthusiastic person every single day
No,
at Graz.
that's hard to keep up. That's hard to do. That's hard to do.
But
But
you
yeah,
know me, man. It was just
yeah. You're in it. You're in it, and you
I
love
was
it.
in it.
So yeah, yeah,
So that sort of stemmed, and we got this friendship going. But then, we flew down, and he picked us up, and he was gracious and amazing. He opened his house to Shane and I, and his wife, and made us feel at home.
Yeah.
Nothing was too much trouble. They even bought some Frosty Flakes for me for breakfast. Special request. They're like, "What do you
Looking
need?"
after
I'm
you.
like, "I,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want some Frosty Flakes." And
You're a
he
simple
threw.
man.
I am a simple
You're a
man,
simple man. Simple needs.
and he sort of said to Shane here, he threw him the keys to his, his big pickup and said, "This is yours for the week. I'll just ride my Harley to work." He's got a beautiful Harley,
Yeah.
and his wife, and she had her own, she had her own car to get to work, so everything was sorted, and we just went in and spent 4 days, basically at Profile and just walking around and looking at the history, and there's so much stuff there that's just sort of like sitting there, and you walk past it and you go, "What was that?" That's like a hutch frame, and there's all these different. This stuff is just sitting there on
Yeah.
shelves,
Because I
and
said, unless you're like an old school guy, like people don't realize Profile used to make so much stuff for other brands back in the day.
mm,
Like you said, the
mm,
original hutch frames. There's so many things that Profile have done because they're a machine shop, right? They're a fabricating shop. So, and they've been
mm.
around for what, 60 years? 60 years or something? Like, wasn't,
60
yeah.
years next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's insane. To
Mm.
still be involved in the BMX industry, after all that time, still making, top shelf products, stems and hubs and cranks and all
Chain
sorts of
wheels and
stuff.
everything.
Yeah, chain, all sorts of stuff. Yep, all sorts of
And
stuff.
it's
So
funny. It's
no, it's
funny. I
cool.
mean, because Jim works there, I think, 4 days a week. He sort of
Yep.
breezes in, the owner, and
So
he's like
he's the owner.
82,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
82 years old. Nancy's wife, she comes in. She's a really lovely lady. And Corey, their son, or their oldest son, he's an engineer. He knows a qualified engineer, who used to race BMX.
yeah,
And ironically, him and Shane have raced against each other.
yeah. Right. That's cool. Yeah,
And that's really cool. And he was so nice. And he was telling me, like, one of his jobs when he was really little was to drill the holes out on the brake, where it said Hutch on the
oh,
on
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
brake
yep,
mount
yeah,
there,
yep,
for the
yep,
old sort of, and it was just holes.
yeah.
Like, he had a thing, and he sat there with like a little
Because
thing,
isn't
and
that that's how you tell the difference between a hutch made frame and a profile
yep,
hutch
that's right.
frame, isn't
Yep,
it? Yeah,
that's exactly
the
right.
brake bridge has got
That's what it's called. Yeah.
the logos drilled. Yep, yep,
And he said he did that. That was his job. He used to
yep,
do like that all day. And you're like, "Oh wow." And he said, "Yeah, I broke a lot of drill bits doing it,
yeah. I
And
could
and
imagine.
I can
Yeah,
imagine, yeah.
yeah,
And then he pulled out a set of cranks, a set that was numbered one.
yep.
They were his cranks off his race bike, that he raced at the world titles here in Australia,
Right,
right?
right. Yep,
In 89.
yep.
And he's thing, and like it's like they've got the little Dremel, and it's crank set one,
Yeah, the serial number. Yep,
serial
yep,
number one,
yep,
and the chrome is still really good,
yeah,
and the
yeah,
welding was amazing,
yeah,
and I'm looking at them, and you legitimately could run them for
yep,
sure.
yep.
And his above his office was his cruiser that he raced at the Worlds
Yeah, that's
also,
cool. That's cool.
and
Yeah.
it was chrome with gold wheels, and I'm like. But I took my bike in there, and they were stoked because I was running profile pads, and my bike's all chrome, and
Yeah,
if you see my bike with a little bit of gold on it, and he's like, "Oh, I really like that. That looks cool." And I
yeah.
said, "Yeah, I kind of wanted it to give it that old sort of
Old
school
school look. Yep,
flavor, but with the
yep,
modern day stuff."
yeah,
But
yeah,
there was
yeah,
just so much cool stuff, just sort of
yeah,
hidden around in corners and
yeah.
little knocks. But
The other thing I learned too, which was really cool, watching the grands. They do the cranks for the Golden Crank Awards for like Bike of the
yeah,
Year, Team of the Year, all that sort of stuff. And I always just thought they would just, they just make five sets of cranks in their run every year, and they just anodize them and that's it. But what those cranks are, so they're part of like a batch of cranks that were made in the early 80s that they had an issue with. But they'd already made like a massive batch of these cranks, and then
yeah,
they couldn't sell them. So they're like, well, they've kind of just hung on to them. And they're like, well, what are we going to do with them? And then all these years ago, they just started anodizing these cranks, and they're the Golden Crank Awards that you see given out at the Grands.
yeah. 1984.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where they're
I
from.
didn't know that. I learnt that, so that was cool. Yeah,
Yeah, and that was like so many things we learnt. And I remember one of the guys there who looks after a lot of the fabrication and the finishing. Shane, his name, he's awesome guy. One of the days he was wearing an old BSX t-shirt because Profile have sponsored
yeah,
BSX over the years, and Shane always makes sure that our Shane,
yeah,
sends over t-shirts
yeah,
and the guys wear them over there, which is so dope.
yeah, yeah,
And you guys come here, I'll show you something. So I went down this little like down one of the racking, and you lifted up this cover, and it was I don't know, there would have been probably 30 sets of those profile pedals, the
Oh,
horseshoe
oh,
pedals.
the horseshoe ones. Yeah, wow.
Yes.
Huh. Ching,
Yeah,
ching, ching.
bro.
Ka-ching,
I'm
ka-ching.
like, this I could retire in Florida, bro.
Yeah, with a boat.
With a boat. It's Stewie driving my boat for me. I'll pay you to drive my boat, kind sir. Yeah, so like,
Yeah,
and like they weren't anodized or anything like they weren't polished.
yeah,
But
just
I'm like, I
raw.
literally
Yeah,
got to hold them, and I'm like, how much they go for in
yeah,
this
they're
country.
insane. Yeah, they're
They're
insane.
we're talking thousands of
Yeah,
dollars,
yeah, yeah,
and I'm like, oh yeah, they're just there. I mean, obviously, like Gus was saying, there's always a plan. They do have stuff there that and some of it gets let go to people. And
yeah,
he said to me that they do have still in boxes, all the colors they did in that Pro Champ. The famous frame with the bar in the middle.
yeah,
So there's
yeah,
like chrome, white,
yeah,
yellow, blue,
yeah.
and I think they've got 10 in each color still.
Wow, yeah. Saving them for a rainy day.
Save
Yeah,
for a rainy day.
no,
I
that's
did
cool.
have a blue one myself for about
Yeah,
6 months,
yeah,
and yeah, stupidly just
yeah.
it was too
We've
it
all
was too short, so I got rid of
we've
it.
all
But
done that. So
we've
sweet.
all
Yeah,
done
cool.
that. But
Yeah,
they were so kind with their
yeah,
time,
yeah.
and I got to
And then
meet Jim.
yeah, that's cool.
Showed him my profile
I was gonna
tattoo.
say you showed him your tat, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Hey,
Yeah.
check out my ink. And he's like, oh, thank you so much. I said, yeah, I'm a lifer. That's it.
He didn't
It's
hit you up, didn't hit you up for copyright infringement or anything like that.
no, no, no,
No.
no. And apparently there's a few people around, and like the guys on that, they was it Justin that had
Yeah,
the
Justin's got the cranks and the whippet chain ring
yeah. So
on his leg. No, I'm sure there's plenty of them getting around, man.
and
I'm
they
sure there's plenty.
secretly love it. They
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, of course.
Jim was a really nice guy, and
Of course I do.
so we
Yeah.
sort of towards the end there we started helping Gus load up
Yeah.
I got out there and washed the truck for
Yeah.
him,
Because you drove
and
across, yeah? You drove across
we
from there
drove.
to Tulsa. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which was a mad trip.
Yeah.
Because he goes, "This is how we do it, boys." So him and Johnny Pringle came.
Yeah. Yeah.
John's awesome,
Yeah.
funny as like he's such
Yeah.
a funny guy. And so it was Gus and John. They shared the driving,
Yeah.
and it was Shane
Didn't
and I in
trust
the
you to
back.
drive?
Uh, Apparently, like if it was when they had the smaller truck, it
Yeah,
would have
that'd be
been
like that thing's like a heavy rigid. Like you'd have to have a special license for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's all about and they've got the trailer's bigger, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all that's okay,
You
all
were a
good, all
passenger.
G.
You were
I
there
was a
just to be a
passenger.
passenger. Yep. Yeah.
And John has this thing like if you fall asleep like anywhere, like on this from when we picked him up, he's like the rules are if you fall asleep anywhere, I'm gonna film it or I'm gonna take pictures of you. And we're like, oh okay, yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
right? And obviously there's pictures of me and Shane in the back because it's like a dual cab, this big freight liner, but it's a dual cab, and there is pictures of me and Shane asleep in the back, and I'm like, okay, fair game. So we reciprocated and we got John in some pretty good
Yeah.
compromisey falling asleep in front of the fire and falling asleep still scrolling on his phone and
Yeah.
but it was just so much fun and we went through Arkansas and we went through Memphis and past we sort of went past New Orleans and we stopped at Bucky's 150 petrol pumps
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and it was like it was like a supermarket inside. It
Yeah,
just
I've seen guys when they do like the motorbike, like the Harley tour to Sturgis or whatever. I've seen that place on YouTube. It looks pretty big. Yeah,
yeah, it's insane.
yeah,
And there's stuff you buy knickknacks and handmade chocolates and licorices
yeah,
but yeah, the aim was they said, look, guys, we just drive straight through. We don't
yeah,
stop at a hotel. We can if you really want to, but pretty much this is how we
yeah.
do it. We
But if you were just
you know
passenger in, why not just sleep in the back? Happy days.
we did,
Yeah,
and we stopped when we needed to fuel up, and
yeah,
we got into Tulsa at about 9:30, and it was pretty like we're in Florida. We were having days like 30 degrees.
yeah,
We went down to Sarasota. We rode Sarasota. We rode Triple Creek. Josh Jolly put up a pretty awesome video of him, triple manualing, double manualing to land, and so it was a
yeah,
cool little track. And we did
yeah,
gates there on a Thursday night, and
yeah,
everybody was really really nice. But yeah, we got to Tulsa at like 9:30, and we couldn't
yeah.
get into our room until like 3 o'clock that afternoon.
Oh, ouch.
Oh,
Yeah,
but I mean, the lobby
yeah,
was really nice, and the lady
yeah,
said, just go
yeah.
help yourself to breakfast, free breakfast.
Chill out.
So we
Yeah,
just chill out, big, not really big, beautiful, nice open fire, and everybody started getting
the nods.
the
Yeah,
nods.
I would
And I said, I go,
have.
Gus, I go, bro, can I have the keys to the truck? And he goes, oh, what's going? I said, I'm just going to stretch out in the back and
Yeah,
just go to sleep. So I think I slept out there for like 2 and a bit hours, and
perfect.
they all just they all just fell asleep in the lounge.
Yeah,
Look,
that's good.
and eventually we got up to our rooms because we got there. It was the Sunday, and Monday is when you're allowed to go into the event center and where
Oh
the
yeah, help
brands are.
start setting up. Yep,
And so everybody has an allocated slot
of
because where
course.
you
Yeah,
are,
yep,
So it's basically put the trailer in,
yep,
take the rig off, and then the
yep.
rig's parked outside. So you've got to put it in the spot that you're allocated, and then you can start setting
Make
up.
sure
So
it's
it's very
right and yeah,
yeah,
organized. Yeah, we're
it's it
that
yeah,
many
and
that
it
many that many people, that size of an event. It's got to be it's got to be done correctly. Yeah,
yeah. So pretty much profile are in the same spot every year.
yep,
And John and Gus have got it down to a fine art.
yep,
Everything's pull this out, do this, put this tent up, and
yep,
it's a well-oiled machine. I mean, because
yep,
they do it, they go to most of the nationals, so
yep,
they know exactly what they're doing, and
yep,
it's good. Everybody pitches in, like all the other teammates were pretty much there. They all get out, they help. The young kids, everybody, the parents, the mums, the dad, and it's just
yep,
so awesome to
yep,
see.
yep,
And a lot of pride in setting up, and it all has to be. Gus likes things the way they need to
yeah,
be,
yep,
and we had the bike set up, and
yeah,
then we had our a team dinner, and
yeah,
just started catching up. And like I've made friendships with a lot of people on the team. Drake and his parents, Dave
yeah,
and Sean, and Ryan and his son Connor and his wife Debbie, and all that sort of stuff. They're just amazing people.
yeah, yeah,
And as much as it was slightly awkward. Well, I felt it was awkward, but Gus said you just got rocks in your head. But you're going into someone else's space,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah,
these guys that from Australia that talk funny
yeah,
that are coming into your
yeah,
space.
yeah.
And yeah, like they didn't make us
They didn't
feel
care. Yeah. I see, I get a
but
bit like that too. Like when you go to a big race, like we normally take our own setup, but there's been a few times where I've just like we've just jumped in the car and gone, and you get to a track and then there's always someone, and I'm the first to say, man, like I'm the first if someone says to me, oh, I don't really have anywhere to sit, I'd be like, yeah, come in, you know what I mean? And it's usually at my own detriment because I end up with no room for myself. But because I just don't want anyone to feel left out. But I'm like you
yeah,
though too. If someone says to me, "Oh, hey, jump in here," the first thing I'll be like, "Nah, it's all cool. I don't want to impede. I don't want to feel like a burden.
yeah,
That's my thing. I don't, I hate making people feel like I'm a burden. And
yeah.
but yeah, those guys,
It's
man, they,
normally
they they love you. So yeah, it wouldn't have been an
yeah,
issue.
and that's the thing. But I mean, this time was just yet again. I think from the last time to this time. yeah, it was just they were so, you know, it was. I'm not saying it was worse. You know, it was so much better and more
Yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah.
And it just real like I said, it really felt like we were a
You're
legitimate
part of
part
it,
of the
yeah,
team.
yeah, and
Yeah,
you guys
and
are, yeah, you guys are. But that's also a testament. We've talked about this too, man. It's also testament to where you are now, as opposed to where you were yourself, 3 years
mm,
ago. So that's really cool, and that would have just made the whole experience like heaps better.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I tried to help as much as I could. Like I said, I had fun, with Gus washing the truck, and there was a little bit of because the truck and trailer are wrapped, and there was a
yeah,
couple of areas on the truck that were they were a bit faded and a bit bubbly. So
yeah,
him and I got together, and I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I just wanted to help.
yeah.
Just
Just
wanted
be a
to,
part of it. Just be a part of it, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
I got the
hundred
scalpel out,
percent.
and I was
Yeah,
cutting little
yeah.
bits out, and I was helping them stick it back, and
You've
that
put
was
a you've put
fun.
a few stickers. You've put a few stickers on in your time. You've laid a few stickers down.
Yeah, yeah, I do have a sticker fetish. Yeah, but I mean, I just wanted to, I guess, just be part of the team. I'm all,
Course, man.
like,
I get it.
yeah,
Yeah, I get
yeah.
it. Yeah. So
And
how was your racing? How did you go with the racing side of it?
so this is cool. Like, I'm without bragging or anything. So obviously, I've raced, well, I think, like 4 times this year here in Australia.
Yeah,
And had some fun, and made all the finals,
yeah,
which was, and I remember, racing at Sunbury, their last
yeah,
open.
yeah, yeah,
It was a lot of fun, and I kind of felt like something clicked, like, oh yeah, I kind of get that intensity, and I need to pedal a little bit more, et cetera, et
yeah,
cetera. And then when I went to Grands, I hadn't ridden as much leading into it, but I kind of felt okay. So
yeah, yeah,
so I went out on practice, and the track was a little tricky, because and what happens is the track rolls in, and it gets a bit, over that weekend, because you can only imagine, they have
yeah.
900 and
Four,
something
four,
moto
4 million bikes over it. Yeah,
riders. Yeah.
yeah,
And it was a little bit, the front straight was, I can't pedal manual the step up, step down, but I'm like, okay, I'll try and pedal as close as I can to it. But there was
yeah,
a roller to tabletop that was really deep,
yeah. It was.
and
Yeah,
it was sharp.
yeah,
And in practice, I think I did like 6 laps in practice on the Wednesday. And, a couple of times I nearly, it was a bit, how you going? And then Shane just sort of said, because we rode sort of pretty much together. But our
yeah,
practice, get this, was at 10 o'clock at night.
yeah. Wow.
I mean, I'm not really my brain is not wanting to ride
Nah,
BMX
bro.
at 10
10 o'clock
o'clock.
at night. I've already had 2 hours sleep. Like I'm done.
Yeah, yeah.
No
I needed that
more.
2 hours sleep.
No
So,
more. Yeah.
so he said, look, just lean. I think you lean in too far back. So
Yep.
next gate, so I got through it pretty good. And apart from that, everything else was pretty good. So then obviously race the champions. Um, and obviously their system over there is, two, what is it? First and second moto
Yeah.
transfer
One,
out.
two transfer. Yeah. Yep.
1-2
Yep.
transfer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think my first moto I got fourth.
Yeah. Cool.
I think it was fourth, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought wasn't too bad. But the thing is, I wasn't really overly nervous. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I had adrenaline, and there is nerves,
Normal race day
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
But it wasn't like up here, which I
Yeah.
have suffered from in the past, a lot of
Yeah.
anxiety and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like super chilled, and
Yeah.
okay, cool. This is, you got nothing to prove here,
It's
brother.
fun.
You're
It's
here.
just, hey,
It's fun.
it's just BMX.
It's just BMX, man. Yeah, yeah.
I thought I'd throw that
And
in there.
yeah, and
Yep.
yeah, and to be fair, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So first motor, yeah, got fourth, and I'm like, okay, cool, yep, feeling this. And Shane's like, oh, maybe see if you can get a second or whatever the next motor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, so next moto, I ended up getting second.
Yeah.
And
So
I
that
was
means
stoked.
you transfer the next day. You go to the next day. Yeah.
Transferred the next day, yeah. So
Yeah.
I was fully
Yeah.
stoked.
Unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was I found it was a good lap, and shout out to Ryan Whitling. He filmed my motos for me.
Yeah. That's cool.
And it was because, yeah, I didn't really see much of my racing last time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was really cool that he was in the stands and he took
Hmm.
the time. So super grateful for that, my brother.
Yeah.
And I got to see it, and not that it's look at me, how awesome, but it's just cool to see yourself race at Grands,
100%. Of course.
and
Yeah. Why else? Why else do you do
you go, yeah, and then I sent it straight to Maddie. See, I can pedal, you
it?
know,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, cool. Now obviously the next day, and I sort of woke up and my knee was, I'd done a lot of laps in practice plus the racing, I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
and standing around, walking around, whatever,
Yeah.
and my knee was really sore in the morning, and I said to Shane, I don't think I'm gonna pull the pin,
Yeah.
and he goes, yeah, that's up to you, man, and I said, I want to save my knee for
Yeah.
grants,
Yeah. Because
and he
this
goes,
was
yeah,
all
fair.
in the rock, wasn't it? Like the
This was rock, the
pre
pre,
titles.
and
Pre
I was
titles.
racing. Yeah, I was racing against some pretty fast guys, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And that was great. Great bunch of guys talking to me. Hey, he's the guy with the funny accent. But
Yeah.
um, when I was riding my OS 20, and it just felt so comfy because I was a bit
Yeah. Cool.
funny before
Yeah.
I come over. Oh, do I take the Cruiser or do I take the OS 20? But I'm glad I took the OS 20.
Yeah.
So I waited until till Saturday to do grands. But the Friday night spectacular, brother.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. You watched it.
I did
You had
watch
to pay
it.
to watch it. You had to pay to watch
I
it.
caved and I bought the subscription. Look, at the end of the day, I'd like to think that it's going back into BMX in some capacity. I know it's not going back into BMX in Australia, but it's going back to BMX in some capacity.
Mm,
Hopefully. I don't know. Um, yeah, look, we bought the package. Obviously it was yeah, it's a bit of a fail. It's a bit of a fail if I must say. Just look, racing's racing, and I mean, I'll watch it if it's two ants racing BMXs up a wall, I'll watch it, right? But
yeah.
it was just too drawn out, man, and
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't follow it. And for the average BMXer, oh sorry, for the average non BMXer that was trying to follow it,
Yeah.
trying to explain to someone that Cam Larson just won three races in a row,
Three mains.
three mains, but he didn't win the race.
The title. Yeah.
There was
It's
no, there
hard
was,
to
and
explain.
there was no explanation for that. There was no backstory, and there was so much downtime that they could have had someone like Connor, like I don't know, pick a dad out of the crowd, pick a factory dad out of the crowd, because he would have had enough of an idea of what was going on. But the average
Yeah. Yeah.
person just didn't know. And then to even like to watch the vets, like Nick Long, man, killed it. Same deal, three
He
from
was
three,
hauling. He was
hauling.
hauling. Yeah.
Smoked Barry, smoked everyone, but
So good.
he didn't win the championship. Jeff
Mm,
Upshaw won the title. Jeff Upshaw was getting like mid pack every race, but he still won the title.
yeah.
People just didn't know. People had no
They're like,
idea.
what's going on here?
And
Yeah.
I've read other things and listened to another podcast that talked about it. That people after the first moto, I don't know, you were there, got up and left because people
They
weren't
did.
aware that it was like total points. And
Yeah.
they really missed the mark yet again. And the coverage, man, is rubbish. Like the microphone's not working
Yeah. It
properly.
was
Like, and
bad. It
look,
was bad.
here we are, you know, being all negative Nellies, but it's like you pay your money for something. And look, it wasn't that much. I think it's $50, whatever,
But we got to
right?
pay to watch it also, though.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that.
exactly right. Yeah, you guys are there and you still got to pay to watch it.
Yeah. So.
But what I don't understand is that they can't run it like that with so much downtime because it went for like 3 hours.
Mm,
They filled it with a bit of dirt jumping, which was okay. I'm not going to say, I'll put my hand up and say it wasn't that good. Like, I think there was like two dudes doing backflips. The rest of them were all doing knack-knacks and X-ups, right? So
yeah.
they could have got a bunch of 12-year-olds out there doing that. But they could have done something with that and made it something. Like actually made it a comp, like the old King of Dirt and stuff they used to have back in the day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it was literally just a bunch of dudes um, doing a double that it looked I don't know the jump looked sketchy itself like there
No,
wasn't
no,
that
it was like, I mean, I went and had a look at it, before, practice and that. It was well sculpted.
yeah
It was
yeah
it was really, it was like proper trails,
But
you know. And
did it float? Like, I don't know. People, I don't know. It was only a couple of dudes that actually looked comfortable on it. Like there was most of the guys just didn't look comfy.
I think it was the way, like, yeah, the entry into it. So you had to,
Yeah.
to go up the
Like
berm and
sort
then
of
cut
pedal in.
in,
Yeah.
and then the lander itself was a bit janky. But the
Yeah.
actual jump, the structure
Self, yeah.
itself,
Well, see, that was the thing. It was hard to tell because the way the camera was set up, it was kind of looking the other way. So
yeah,
you couldn't actually see. Anyway, I don't want to sound like I'm banging on about it.
no,
Do I
you're a
care
paying
about the,
customer, you're allowed to.
do I care about the $50? No. But if you're going to if you're going to sell something, and the whole premise to this thing is that we want to sell it to an outside audience, if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
someone that just turned that on and watched it and were like, oh man, that Cam Larson dude, he's like, he killed it. He'd be stoked. He's just won 30 grand in a Sea-Doo. No, he didn't win anything. Like he won nothing. Like
But the
because he didn't
problem
win
is
it
too.
because he didn't win the title.
But the problem is even in that statement, brother, like you're not going to get people that are just going to stumble across it and start watching it because you have to pay for it.
No dude is gonna
So
go, I'm not gonna pay 50, I'm not gonna pay $50
to watch
to
a sport I don't
go
know anything about,
to watch a sport I know absolutely nothing about and have
nothing
no
about.
skin in the game. So
Yeah,
they're only charging BMX people.
that's
And
exactly
if
right.
you're going to charge BMX people, you've got to have a better product than that. And
So yeah, I
yeah,
agree 100%. And you and I were like messaging while
yeah,
it was on, and it was awesome sitting in the crowd with the big Josh Jolly
I saw that
heads.
and got it on film. Yep,
Yeah, you got it on film. I mean,
got it
the
on film.
cameraman really didn't want to, it was me, Shane, and Wayne,
Yeah,
Josh's dad,
yeah,
and he wanted no part of it. Like the
yeah, right.
cameraman was trying not to. I
Yeah,
mean, we're crazy Aussies, but
yep.
I was screaming, get your camera up here, you
Yeah,
womble.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the thing is, even in the pits, we had the TV, because so we could watch the motos and
yeah,
stuff. We and I saw this around with a lot of teams. All the teams, people that are there are still got to pay the $50 to watch it
yeah,
live.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's something
That's
fundamentally
weird.
wrong with that.
I think
It's
that there
weird,
should have been. Yeah, I don't know how they would police
like an
that.
exemption.
Or but it's part of your entry. If you enter, it's just part of your entry.
Got a
You know what I mean?
code.
And you
Got
get a
like
code.
a
You know what I mean? Like it's
QR
part of your
code. Yeah.
yeah, part of your entry. But like I said, at the end of the day, it was $50. I got this. I had an excuse to sit on the couch and do nothing but watch BMX. Not that I need an excuse, but I had one, so that was cool.
As long
I
as you
sat,
cheered for me, I'm happy.
yeah, I did. I
Just
did,
say you
but
did. Just say you say.
but I
Just say I
sat there.
did.
Look, Rhino sat with me, and Kaz sat with me, and we watched it. I mean, that's what we did on the afternoon, and it was, it was okay.
And
But
the
look,
racing, the
the
racing
racing was
was,
hot, man. The racing was
yeah, it was
hot,
hot.
real good.
Yes.
The chicks, the vets, the
Oh,
pros. It was hot.
pros,
The racing was
the
hot, man. But
futures,
yeah, the futures.
Nag
But
Five,
just
everything.
there's so many backstories that could have, and not even just for the backstory for the sake of a backstory, help join the dots because there was no jot joining. It was just is that even a word? Jot joining, dot
It was a
joining.
bit like they were they
We'll
were
edit that
coloring
out.
outside.
Yeah, we'll edit
Let
that
it that out.
out.
Yeah.
But you know what
Color
I mean?
by
Like
numbers.
color by
Color
numbers.
by numbers.
That's what I need right now. Yeah, yeah, that's right. I had a big day, but you get what I'm saying though.
I do.
There was not enough, man. There's not enough, and the other thing is too that people don't that were there that don't realize the people at home. You don't get because when they're there, they got like all the music and all that pumping with the lasers and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Well, we don't
Yep.
get that. We get silence because
I
obviously
remember you saying that.
because the
Yeah, and
music's
that
obviously
was
copyright. So we just have this like screen and nothing happens, and then Josh Jolly comes out, does a 360, and goes back behind the curtain, and there's nothing.
yeah.
So same again, man. If you can't, another way that they could fix that,
Is
the
loyalty a
silence,
royal? Yeah.
or
Is
is either pay the royalties, which they're obviously not going to do, or two, have someone talking on the broadcast,
or a band.
or something.
I'm
Doesn't
sure
need
there's
to,
some.
I don't need to listen to Drake while Josh comes out and does a 360. Just have some band on the background that's at least got a bit of noise that everyone can listen to, but have someone on the mic we keep saying his name. This is Josh Jolly. Josh is within a mathematical chance of winning the title. Josh needs to get
Yeah,
a three, but if Cam gets a two and then the other
yeah,
Cam gets a
yeah.
one, like there was none of that.
Nothing that.
Like
Mm.
totally missed the boat. Totally missed the
Yeah.
boat.
So hopefully, in some way, USA BMX will reach out and do a survey or something and get some feedback like this
Oh,
because I mean we're not the only ones,
just
but
get
they're
on
gonna
no
have.
just get on No Holds Barred BMX on Facebook. That's about the survey. That's about the only survey
Yeah,
they need,
yeah.
I
But
reckon.
the thing is,
Yeah.
it needs to be listened to
Of
because
course it does, man.
you
Of
know
course it
I mean
does.
because
And
it's such
yeah, yeah. We have
it's
the
an
same.
awesome
It
spectacular. It's an
is. It is.
awesome.
It is. And and we like I said, we talked about when we were on Justin and Chris's and Melissa's show on Sunday. They were super interested to hear about racing in Australia, and I did say, and I've got no hesitation in talking about it. What they did at MacArthur this year was great. Was it a little bit drawn out for the riders? Probably. I didn't mind it as a spectator. Like I think when the break was on, I ran into you and went and got a bit of bit of lemon juice and a bit, you know what I mean? Like you sort of, and there's a band and stuff. Like it did fill in the time. But
Well,
yeah, over
but
there, man, they just completely missed the mark.
yeah, and we did talk like we did our Aussies, post Aussie titles show,
Yeah,
and I remember you and I were so pumped, and we didn't really understand at that time when we did that show about how some of the riders felt about that. But I
yeah.
remember you and me talking, under the lights that
I'm still
everybody was
stoked about
heat,
it. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
still stoked
and
about
that's
it
what I'm
because it
saying,
was cool. Yeah, yeah,
and like but then to talk about grands, um, it yeah, the racing was good, but yeah, there was a lot of holes in that package that they
yeah,
did with the
yeah,
even there the microphones weren't working properly, and
yeah, yeah,
whereas I just think you know our show was pretty good, the Aussies, as you and I said, because
yeah.
it was
Loved
something
it. Loved it.
completely different,
Yep, yep,
and it was our elite riders, our pros that were
yep,
center stage.
yep,
That we all were just like eyeballs,
yep,
and you and I, we
yep,
saw it. I mean, we did the pan shot
yep,
of
yep. It was so
absolutely
cool.
every single
And
person.
people come back. People that didn't have to be at the track all
They'd
came
come
back
back,
and got around it. They really did.
and guess what? We didn't have to pay for it either.
No,
Now, like at
no,
Grands, I mean, I must
yeah.
admit, yeah, look, it's $15 or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
So
Okay, to sit
what's
in.
the deal? So what's the deal? They kick like you basically like everyone they kick everyone out and then you pay to come back in. Is that what they do?
Yeah, so you have to have a ticket. So you get to the grandstand is obviously, they funnel you in. You can't just
Yeah.
wander in, and there's like security guards there because you
Yeah.
got it where they have all those trophies and the pro shop and the USA. There's a little ticket booth. So during the day you go up and I'll have two tickets for the pro spectacular.
Yep.
That'll be blah blah blah, $30.
Yep.
You
Yep.
get like a little, the little thing,
Yep.
and then you walk up before it starts, and then the security guard gives you a little smiley face stamp, and you're in, right?
Yep.
So if you don't have those two credentials or whatever, those two elements, you ain't getting in,
Yep.
right? So it's pay per view,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you don't really think, and you're sitting there, and the crowd's going cool. I did find this year that it did seem like the track was a little bit further away than
Yeah.
when I was there. So when I was there last time, Shane and I were actually standing in the middle of the track. So you could go in, and we were like around the thing of the track, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Because
had
you
a
were
little
sort of
seat.
standing in the middle. You were sort of standing in the middle, weren't you? I remember
Yep.
that. Yeah. I
And
remember
and
that.
really close to the action, like
Yeah.
really close. You could
Yeah.
feel the energy. I
Yeah.
felt really, really
Yeah.
retracted back
Yeah.
to a
Yeah.
point. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see who was, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah.
need to go to Specsavers. I don't
Yeah,
know. Meet a
maybe. Also,
binoculars.
too, man. I think the titles. uh, you know,
Mm.
some people went in with a mathematical chance, but I think the titles were pretty much done and dusted, weren't they? Like, I think it was going to take like as soon as Cam made the final, Jeff was always going to make that final. Molly the same.
Molly
Like,
was on fire.
oh,
Mm,
killing it, man. She deserved, yeah. That girl. Let's shout out the girls. Um,
mm,
she deserves everything that she got this year. She worked so damn hard, and she was so good. The only thing I'll tell you, one thing that I did say to my wife is that I said to Kaz, I said I feel like I'm stoked for Molly, like I really am stoked for her because she seems like a
mm.
really nice person.
Yeah,
Most Canadians seem to be that way. Um, I said to her, but I would have loved to have actually seen her straight up beat Elise. As in, I would have loved to have I would have loved for her to have beaten her and got the title by beating Elise and beating her legit. And the only reason why I'm saying that, not taking away from anything that she did, but she was so close in the last year or two, her
yeah.
trajectory has gone through the roof. She's been the most improved rider in the world in the girls for sure.
Hmm.
And it would have just been icing on the look. I'm sure hey, at the end of the day, I don't think she cares whether she beat her or not because she still won the title. But I said to Kaz, I said, oh, it would have been really cool. What would have capped it for me is if she
Mm.
had have raced Elise all year and she straight up beat her at the Grands. Yeah.
Yeah, and Elise is that she's been the benchmark,
Oh, forever.
and
Forever.
forever.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
to take and Elise Elise is scrappy.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
likes to race
She
hard,
gets
and
she gets in. Yeah, she gets in. Yep.
she gets
Yep.
in, and
Yep.
if there's even someone that's close, she's not scared of going
No.
in hard and
No.
elbows sharp,
No.
and she'll fight for that title. I remember when
She's
I
married
was
to
there,
Sam Willoughby, mate. Like, yeah, she's
the
married to
horse,
Sam. Yeah, yeah,
I mean, Sam's got such a crazy, strong mental game,
yeah, yeah,
and I'm sure some of that is gone across to her. But she's always
yeah,
been an amazing champion,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and being a pioneer for pro racing women. But
100%.
How good was Lozabere?
Oh, bro, just turned
Shout out to
up.
Loz,
Oh,
turned up.
massive shout out to Loz, man. And we talk about it
Mm.
all the time. She just does not get the recognition she deserves in this country in BMX. She just doesn't.
Yeah,
For what
and I'm
she's done, so
yeah,
consistent, so just turns up, fronts up. No one with all the stuff that she's had going on this year. And she recently had a baby and all this sort of stuff. That
yeah,
no one would have questioned her for not showing up and just going,
no,
nah, not this time. Yep. But she showed up and
and
she's
she sent it.
fast. And she
Oh
sends it,
yeah,
man. Loves pulling the triggers on the big jumps. Like it gets me
yeah,
so
me
excited
too.
watching that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
yep,
and another thing about grands is you can just you know with all respect, you just you can go and say hello to and I love chatting to Lauren, and she's always really gracious with her time, and obviously congratulated her on the birth of the baby, and all that sort of stuff, and always have a cool chat with her, and
yeah,
and I was telling her how stoked I was about her, the way she was flowing the world's track in Copenhagen, and it was just
yes,
like a day at the trails.
yeah,
She was
yeah,
jumping that triple into the first corner like it was
yeah, killing it,
she was
man. She
riding posh
she kills it.
trails.
Yeah,
And she's
she
like, oh,
kills it.
thank,
Yeah,
and she's like, oh, thanks. Yeah, she goes, I was having so much fun.
yeah,
And I said, girl, you're looking good and all this. And she's like, thank you. And even like after grands, when I got back to Australia, she put up a post about, her experience at grands. And I just thanked her. I said, thank you so much for
yeah.
just being full, this and
Just
this and
being
this,
her, just being her.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much. And and I sort of said to her, I really always appreciate your time that you give me. And she goes, always, I'm always happy to chat with you, and that
yeah,
made me feel really, really
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
hey, I'm a
yeah,
54-year-old BMXer,
yeah,
but I've got a lot of time, and I think when I did that, Dozer's dad joke challenge with her,
yeah,
forever ago,
yeah,
that's when I think I kind of got a bit of a friendship going with her.
yeah,
It's not like she's sending me birthday cards, but
yeah.
no, I mean, it's just
No,
it's just
it's
cool
cool,
like
man.
that,
Yeah, it's cool.
and
It is cool like
even
that. Yeah,
and you can just walk around. I mean, I even I bumped into Tori Norhard from Coffee Chatter, that other podcast,
Oh,
and
they got a podcast, don't they? Those guys,
there's
him
something
and
like that, yeah. And he
someone, yeah.
recognized me. He's like, "Hey, how you going, Sean?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
cool, Tori." Shook his hand, and
yeah,
we had a good yarn. And
yeah,
I'm like, he remembered who I was, like
yeah,
knew my name,
yeah,
and it's always good catching up with Baz, good old
yeah,
Barry Nobles. He's always up
yeah,
for a chat, and
yeah. No,
just yeah,
just a good
yeah,
experience. Yeah, just a
it's a
good
good
experience. Yeah,
experience,
but
man.
no,
And then
plenty of Aussies went over this year.
they did.
Caused a bit of a ruckus in the intermediate classes. Yeah, a bit
Yeah, I
salty.
might.
The old,
I'm. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm.
a bit
Well, I
salty.
rode into. I rode intermediate, but I mean,
Yeah, I think it needs to be an does it I think it needs to be an option, doesn't it? Like,
I think if you've got to look, okay. I mean, I'm not trying to justify it or anything. I mean, I raced expert on in Race of Champions.
yeah,
For me, for grands, I rode intermediate because in 4 years I've ridden. I've raced 4 times
that's
or
what I
five
mean.
times.
That's where you're at,
So
right? That's where you're at right now. Yeah,
yeah, and
legitimate.
I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm my knee doesn't allow me to do the things I used to.
yeah,
Fine, right? So I mean, it. I think I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but I think maybe I should be able to at least have that as an option,
yeah,
right? But in saying that, if because they're going to change the rules now, so
yeah,
if I was to go back next year, I don't care. I would race expert. I don't
yeah,
care. Like
yeah,
for me, I don't care because I know that I'm not going there for a trophy. I'm just going
yeah.
there
You're
for
going for the
abs.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the experience. Yeah,
If
yeah,
I got a medallion or a ribbon at the end,
yeah,
participation medal, I would be
yeah.
stoked.
Whatever.
But
Yeah, yeah,
whatever. But
yeah.
I'm not geared like that
Yeah,
because I know that
and I
I'm.
get it because there was some dudes winning by like full straights, and I get it. Like it's their, it's their Aussies, their version of the Aussies. So it means a lot to those kids and those families that are there and have raced, all year.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And that's not to say that some of their homegrown kids don't sandbag either, and avoid getting the W's to move up a class. But we just, and we talked about that too with the All Things guys. They weren't sort of fully across how BMX works in Australia, and we had to explain to them that, like, yeah, at a club level we have like a novice class, but at a state
yeah.
and national level we don't have novice,
No,
intermediate, expert. And I think they were a bit blown away that an Aussie titles could be your first ever BMX race, and you're put in with literally with the fastest kids in the
these
country.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
right.
look, hey, I'm not saying it's a done thing that people sign up for their Aussies because that's what they do for their first race, but they could.
Mm,
They could.
mm.
There'd be absolutely nothing
Yeah,
stopping someone from doing that.
yeah.
So,
And I
yeah.
mean, I had guys in my class that were, they were fast
Yeah.
and they were like from South America and all this sort of
Yeah.
stuff. So I kind of get it, but I wasn't really thinking that far out. I was just,
Yeah.
do a tidy lap, Shawnee. You're
Stay
having a
on.
blast.
Don't fall
Stay
off.
on.
Yeah.
Don't fall off. Get some good
Yep.
footage,
Yep.
so you
Yep.
can make some more reels
Hand out
and
some
just
stickers.
hand out some stickers and just represent it's
Yeah.
just BMX
It's
and
yeah.
obviously profile.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's where my headspace is. I'm not
Yeah.
there to try and skip the line and get a
Yeah.
trophy.
Yeah.
But and there's plenty of fast Aussies that go over there that race expert that
Yeah.
smoke it. They do really,
Absolutely.
really
Yeah.
well.
Cade McNamara. There was quite a few that
Yeah.
raced in expert. And like I said, not this is nothing at all to take away from those guys that went over and raced intermediate. Like it was you could do it. You're allowed to do it.
So
But I do understand why some of them did get a bit shirty afterwards.
salty, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think also, okay, so this is from a rider's perspective. This is just me throwing this out there
Yeah.
because, like I said, we all do things for different reasons, right?
Yep.
Now, I'm happy to race whatever because whatever. I just love riding my
Yeah, you
bike,
just ride your bike. Yep.
So, but for other people, now it's a long way to go, right? For us in
Yeah.
Australia,
Yep.
it's a
Yep.
long way to go. It's a huge investment. Now,
Yep.
this is not an excuse. This is just me I'm thinking out loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, it can be very intimidating to go over there, right? So, intermediate versus expert offers you a not as full on experience, right?
Yeah.
you can still race and still race hard, but I think if it's your first grands or whatever, sometimes it's just putting your foot in the middle pool, not so
Yep.
much the baby pool, but you're just dipping your toe in,
Yeah. Just
and
want
you
to
get your
see
head
where you
around.
see where you stack up. Yep.
Yeah,
See
like
where
I
you
said,
stack
this is
up.
not
Yep.
me making excuses for anybody or whatever, but I think it is full on over there. Now,
Yep.
expert, those guys, they race hard. They will jam you in corners. I mean, I had it happen to me at last grands. I had a guy like fully come in like he was landing on an aircraft carrier. Like he just
Yep.
come in real hot, and I was like, and this is in like 50 plus thing, and I'm like, whoa, welcome to the big boys, and they race hard. Now
Yep.
in intermediate, it's not as full on,
Yep.
so I can kind of get it if you go, hey, look, this is my first grands. I just want to get around and I want to get home because we're a long way from home,
Yep. Yep.
and I mean even for me, like to get into I could have gotten to the second day at Grands, right? And I was in third and I was going down the second last straight and I was gaining with the first two guys. And I went on the inside and the guy he went a little high. I could have biffed him, you
Yep.
know, but
But for what? Yeah. For what?
but for
Yeah.
what? I didn't pull the
Yeah.
trigger on it. I
Yeah.
turned the fuelers off
Yeah.
because I'm so fast. And I just sort of coasted across
Yeah.
the line for third.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was stoked
Happy
because I'm
as.
like,
Yep.
I was happy. That was
Yep.
it. That was Grand's done for
Yep.
me. But I
Yep.
was so satisfied because
Yep.
I got a good start and I was
Yeah.
really close and I gained on him. And then I could have like boof,
Yep.
like that,
Yep.
whatever. But I could end up really hurt, or he
Yep.
was really hurt.
Yep.
And that's not what I'm there for.
Yep.
And my Grand's experience on the track was
It's
done,
over. But that doesn't
but
mean your grand experience is done. Yeah, it's
no.
not. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So I get it in some ways, and maybe that's why people are doing it because they go,
Yeah.
we don't really want the argy bargy of expert,
Yeah.
or some of these kids are super fast, and it can be a little intimidating because
Yeah.
some of those nag fives and all that are on the
Yeah.
line,
Yeah.
and these kids are flying. So
Yeah.
look, I mean,
Yeah. Each to
unless
their own, but yes, they have changed the rules. They've definitely changed the rules for
Yeah,
next
and
year.
you know
So
what? If, like I said, if I had to go there, if I had to listen to me talk like I'm an expert now. If I was lucky enough to get to go there next
again,
year
yeah,
again,
yeah,
I'm not too sure how I can facilitate that. But
yeah,
anyway, that's we can edit that out. No,
yeah,
I would be happy to race
yeah.
expert,
Cool,
no problem.
cool,
I wouldn't
cool.
care.
No, that's sweet,
I'd get
man.
on this. Yeah,
That's
cool. So
sweet. All right.
hopefully everybody out there is still listening and
Yeah.
us waffle on
No,
as
we
always.
appreciate you that, man. We appreciate you taking the time to give us the scoop on your trip. It's sounds like you had a really good time. And I said it to you at the start, I've said it to you offline, I've said it to you on the phone. I'm just really stoked, man, that you got to do the trip that you were meant to do in 22, but you weren't meant to do it because you were meant to do it this time.
And
Yeah.
that's and I know and you're bang on. And it was funny. I'm not trying to make it about myself, but I was talking to a guy that was in my favorite coffee shop, Skip Skateboard Shop.
Shout out to
Just
Skips.
talking. Shout out to Skips, best coffee ever. I only cheated on him once. I only got one coffee in America. I needed
What
a
did you
brew
do?
up.
What did you do the rest of the time? Come
That's a
on.
secret.
Come on.
Nah, I was
Twisted
drinking
teas.
Monster
You're drinking twisted teas at like
these
7 a.m.
in seven. So Jenko and I found this Monster Energy flavor called Viking Berry.
How fitting for the big Dutch rudder. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
exactly. And it
yeah,
was funny because it was like I think one was like $4.30, but
yeah.
two was $3.
Oh,
So and it
as
was
if I'm gonna buy one. Yeah,
that was
yeah.
kind of like a little bit like a Forest of the Fruits kind of yog play flavor. That's the only way I could
Oh,
describe it.
yeah, that's
So
cool.
that's kind of how it got around it.
Yeah, cool.
Then and then I'm like, we're actually at Dallas Airport, and Josh Jolly, because he was on the same flight as us,
Yeah,
he went straight to Starbucks. He goes, I'm going to get myself a latte, blah blah blah. And I'm like, is it good? He goes, bro, it's not bad. So I went and got one, and he was bang on the money. And I'm like, Okay, I cheated on Skip once. But
once.
anyway, so
But he
I
won't.
had this.
Yeah, yeah. We'll edit that out. We won't tell him. Yeah.
We won't tell him. But yeah, no, I had this gentleman today, and he said this was the weirdest thing. And I was just talking to this guy, and we're just talking about life and stuff. And he said, "You suck all the oxygen out of the sky because of how enthusiastic you are for life." And I was like,
I'll
"Okay, I'll
I'll,
take
I'll
that."
take that. I'll take that.
But it was just a matter of fact thing. I'd
Random
never
as.
seen.
Random as.
I,
Yeah.
I'd never seen this guy before. I've never spoken to him before. We were just talking about cars, and because he saw my car, and we are just sort of talking about he was when he was young, he used to do up
Yeah.
cars and stuff like this, and he was a machinist in a big thing, and we were just
Okay.
me, I talk to pretty much
Anyone.
anybody,
Anyone that'll
you know,
listen. Yeah.
poor darlings. And that was the thing. He goes, you suck all the oxygen out of the sky because you have so much enthusiasm for
For
life.
life. There you go.
So I'll put that on a t-shirt.
That's
Oh,
it.
speaking of t-shirts, there wasn't too much of the cruiser at Grants. I didn't hear it that much. If I didn't even think I heard it. Did you hear it?
No, because there's a story there. Didn't old mate get the chop?
Eric,
Didn't
it's not Eric.
Grindle
That's
didn't he get the
no, it's
chop
not
or
Grindle that says it. It's someone else. I think
oh,
it's someone else. I'm pretty sure it's someone else that says it.
you sure?
I will. I
We'll
will.
come back to that. We'll get that on the next
I'll take
episode.
that. I'll
Yeah.
take that on notice.
Yeah, we'll take that on notice. All right. Cheers, brother. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
My pleasure, brother.
And yeah, we'll catch everyone on the next episode.
Those are out.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.